Oh, just, living in Delaware. I got 4 kids.
Four.
I did only 3 months.
We are here to stand against that.
She's not so
Stop bombing Iraq. No war or sanctions in Iran. U.S. out of Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan. U.S. out of the Middle East. He's a war criminal. And so we are here to say, hands off Iraq. Hands off Iraq. Hands off Iraq! Say it! Hands off Iraq! 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 Hands off Iran! And I'm going to have my co-host Leo talk to you for just a moment, and we'll get started with our program today of speakers to expound upon why we are demonstrating here against this ongoing criminal war action by the United States government. Thank you.
Thanks so much. My name is Leo Flores. I'm with Coach Mace. There's a lot of groups here today. We've got Answer, Coach Mace, Popular Resistance, Veterans. A bunch of people are coming out, a bunch of organizations coming out to build this anti-war movement that's incredibly necessary at this time. The Trump administration has made incredibly dangerous steps escalating their war on Iran. The war that is going on for years now, since 2017, with the economic sanctions, with the economic war, with the war that's getting hotter, and with the murder of General Soleimani. They've taken us for the precipice, if not over it. And what we have to do, our responsibility here in the United States, is to show the people of Iran, is to show the people of Iraq that there are American citizens who are against these wars, that there are American citizens who want peace and friendly relations between our people, that there are American citizens who are saying no more Pentagon spending, no more endless wars, no more environmental pollution caused by the military, no more in Iraq, in Iran, in Yemen, in Syria, in Afghanistan, all over the Middle East. We have to stop these wars in the Middle East, and that's why we're here today, and we have to make this movement grow. So everyone has to take personal responsibility and start reaching out to more folks, and have them come out and join us for future action. So let's start a quick chant right now. When the Iranian people are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When the people of Iraq are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Right, thank you.
One thing that we always have to remember is when the U.S. carries out these bombings, when it makes it its priority to make war on all these different countries throughout the world, we know that the most hardest hit in these campaigns are the average rank and file person in these countries, just living their lives, workers, laborers. We know that in any society, labor and workers are what really drive these societies. And oftentimes, the exploitation of those workers is what's driving society. So to get a perspective on this issue from the aspect of labor, we're going to welcome Yasmin Zara from U.S. Labor Against the War. Please welcome her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Yasmin Zara. I'm with an organization called U.S. Labor Against the War. We have one of our founders here in the crowd. His name is Gene. Say hi, Gene. Hi, Gene. A little bit about the organization. We were founded in 2003 to oppose George Bush's war on Iraq.
Yeah.
In the summer of 2005, our founders called for an immediate withdrawal of our soldiers on the floor of the AFL-CIO convention. It was the first time in labor history where a major federation took a stance against the war, entirely bottom up and led by working class people. It's truly a watershed moment in labor history. So shout out to Gene for being a huge leader in that effort. Thank you for being here.
Go Gene!
Today we heed the same call demanding an immediate withdrawal of our troops and no war on Iran. It is always poor and working people who suffer the most, who lose the most, bosses need us. We don't need them.
The bosses need us. We don't need them.
The bosses need us.
We don't need them.
The bosses need
us. We don't need them.
The bosses need us.
We don't need them.
That's right. We can build a country without billionaires where we tackle the real wars. The war on poverty, the war on racism, the war on militarism. Those are the real wars that working class people care about. That's right. The real enemy are the bosses, and they're right here at home in our backyard. Those are the people who we are up against. I've been an organizer on the ground for about 10 years, and what I've heard from working class people, what their real needs are universal health care, are quality good jobs with good pay and good benefits, support for our homeowners and renters, to demilitarize the police, and to actually invest in rebuilding our public schools and our nation's infrastructure. Those are some of the working class people, along with saving our planet and reducing our carbon footprint. Our brothers, our sisters, our cousins in Iran and Iraq, what they really need is labor's hand in solidarity, not more bombs and sanctions that we send to them. U.S. Labor Against the War, those are our demands. And if you are a trade unionist out in the audience, come talk to me. We need you on our side to build the anti-war front for the labor movement. Thank you so much.
No justice, no peace. No justice out of the Middle East. No justice,
No peace. USA out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. US out of the Middle East. No
I want to thank Catherine Zorro for speaking to us. I'm so glad you made that point about the struggles of foreign working people.
How many photo
Even
fighters
though this bombing in Iraq was a unilateral move by Trump, we know that just the other day, Republicans and Democrats passed a defense bill that was $738 billion.
This is on Pelosi's head!
Think about what you and I could do with that money as just regular people in this country trying to live. Think of the health care we could have. Think of the access to education we can have.
Yes,
We're here in D.C. Think of the affordable housing we could have. Think of how we could address homelessness with some of that money. So it seems like this government has no interest in investing in things that sustain life, but wants to invest in things that breed death, destruction, bloodshed, and misery to folks all over this world. And so that is why what we're doing today is so important. Because this unity and coming together that we have today is what's really going to strike a blow against these imperial efforts by the United States government. And you all should know that this is not just happening in Washington, D.C. This is a nationwide day of action. We are one of 72 cities and towns in the United States are doing exactly what we're doing now in taking this collective effort. So now I'd like to bring to the microphone Brian Becker, National Director of the Extra Coalition. Please welcome him.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We're not just here in front of the White House, we're in 72 cities and towns around the United States. And this has happened in 3 days. This has happened in 3 days. And what does it really indicate? It shows that the people of the United States, some people, whether they're liberal or conservative, Republican, Democrat, independent, socialist, whatever they are, they don't want another Iraq.
That's right.
They don't want another Afghanistan.
That's right.
Yeah,
They don't want another Libya.
That's right.
absolutely.
They don't want another Vietnam.
That's right.
Because guess what? A war with Iran will be more like the war with Vietnam than it was with Iraq. Iran has 80 million people, an educated population, a strong military, a strong economy. Whether you like the government or don't like the government, the fact of the matter is the United States, this administration, Donald J. Trump, does not have the right to violate international law, to violate the United Nations Charter, to violate the War Powers Resolution, and start a war of aggression without knowing, and he doesn't know, and the generals don't know, what the outcome will be.
They don't.
There's a trending phrase on Twitter right now, and it's World War III. There's a reason for that. All the media is asking us, why is World War III trending? World War III is trending because if the United States goes to war against Iran, which has allies with Russia and China, how would anyone not think that this could be a repeat of World War I and World War II? Those wars were not a fantasy, they actually happened. They happened because leaders made decisions that took the world not only to the brink of catastrophe, but over the brink.
Over the
Are we going to stand by and let that happen? Are we going to stand by and say to Donald Trump, oh well, you are the president and you have the right to do this? You cannot say yes to that because it means not only a violation of everything legal, of everything moral, of everything ethical, it's a violation of what it means to be alive. When the U.S. bombs Iranians, they say, well, they're Iranians, they're not our people. Our message here today is the Iranians and the Iraqis and the Palestinians and the Vietnamese and the Koreans are our people. And we have to stop the war makers. That's why we're here. I want to now introduce Mara Verheyen-Hilliard. Many of you know her. Whenever we get arrested, she's our lawyer. The reason we can protest and not get routinely attacked on the streets of Washington, as used to be customary, is because her organization, the Partnership for Civil Justice, sued the MPD, they sued the National Park Service, they sued the Capitol Police. That's why we have even a minimum First Amendment protection here in the nation's capital. Let's give a warm welcome to Mara Verheyen-Hilliard.
Park in front of the White House and more than 72 cities all across the United States. People are turning out to say that they're not going to stand by to let the Trump administration or the generals in the Pentagon take this country into another war and wage a war in the Middle East that will have global implications. A war that is so dangerous, so reckless, that all of us here, and people all over the United States, and people all over the world are now afraid because you have a man in the White House that has talked about using nuclear weapons. Why can't we use the nuclear weapons? What you do is, that's the person who's in charge of the nuclear weapons. And all of us are here to say that we're not going to stand by. We will not be silent. We will not allow our country to be led into another dangerous, reckless war. And a war that will kill thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. The Iraq War, as we know, killed millions. millions of people, a war of aggression led by the former occupant, a former occupant, George W. Bush. Stood out there then.
It's a war criminal
And Justice said, this is a war of aggression. It is illegal under the UN Charter. The UN Charter that was ratified in 1945 after World War II because countries came together and said, we don't ever want to have this happen again. The UN Charter, which articles state that no country, and the U.S. ratified the UN Charter in 1945, that no country can wage a war of aggression or threaten another country. And the only time that an act of military force can be taken is in self-defense, and the self-defense has to be such that there is an immediate, absolute, overwhelming threat that does not allow for a moment of deliberation. That is not the circumstances we are in. What the administration just did, what Trump just did, was an act of war, and it was illegal. And more than anything, we know it was wrong and it was dangerous.
Absolutely.
So looking at what we're faced with right now, and the violation of the War Powers Act, a critical resolution that was introduced by Congress after Vietnam to ensure once again that something like Vietnam wouldn't happen, and yet Congress has repeatedly sat back and given repeated blank checks to the administration because they don't want to take responsibility. They want to criticize their support, but they don't want to take responsibility. So all of us, it's incumbent upon all of us, and all of the people across the United States, or the 72 cities, to stand up and demand accountability, to stand up and say, we are not going to allow this to happen, and we are not going to sit back and allow another war and slaughter to engulf people who are not our enemies. I went to Iraq in the months leading up to the invasion of Iraq, and I went on a peace delegation, and everywhere I went, people asked me, why does your country hate us? Why are they bombing us? Young women, young men, families, asking us over and over, why are you doing this to us? And there was no rational answer I could give except to tell them that I knew that there were millions of people back in the United States who did not want it to happen and who were willing to stand up and stop an upcoming slaughter. And people did, people fought, people stood for what they believed in. But even now, you look at what happened yesterday after the assassination, what happened? Oil prices went up. It was good for the fossil fuels industry. It was good for the oil companies.
Good for defense contractors too.
Someone saying it's good for the defense contractors. But when we're talking about fossil fuels, we're talking about the military, we're talking about the oil companies, we're talking about who benefits from these wars and from these threats of wars. I think it's important to talk about the other massive crisis that we're facing right now, which is the climate crisis. Which is an extraordinary, existential, absolute, defined threat that, without question, is going to steal and destroy our children's future. Any hope of our children's future if we do not act to stop it. And I'm very honored and we're very excited that we have with us now, today, Jane Fonda, who has tirelessly stood for justice, for peace, and has, for the last month, been in Washington, D.C., week after week, organizing thousands of people to come to Washington, D.C. and in Washington, D.C. to stand up, to demand a Green New Deal, to demand an end to fossil fuel extraction. Under her organizing and brilliant leadership, there are hundreds of people who have taken acts of conscience, who have risked arrest and acted in civil disobedience because they know that the threat is real and that it's incumbent upon the people to act. So I'm very, very pleased and thrilled to introduce Jane Fonda.
I wanted to be here because I wanted to to everybody that the climate movement and the peace movement must be one movement. The younger people here should know that all of the wars that have been fought since you've been born have been fought over oil. The bombing in New York and here at the Pentagon and elsewhere on 9/11 was about oil. Because for decades, U.S. troops were stationed in the Middle East to guard oil. And troops were stationed on sacred sites, sites that are sacred, holy to the people of that region. Did we not know that? Did we once again not learn the lessons of Vietnam? Not bother to understand the people that we were shaming and insulting?
And killing.
Not to mention killing. And the environments there that we are destroying and the children that are dying of toxins because of the gassing. And all of the things that the U.S. has been doing there. So please understand, the Pentagon is the biggest institutional user of fossil fuel in the world.
That's right. Absolutely.
That we can't anymore lose lives and kill people and ruin an environment because of oil and fossil fuels. Ryan said that the war in Iraq was started by Bush. No, it was started by Cheney. It's always been about oil. Oil is killing people in the Middle East. The wars around oil are killing them, and oil is killing us here, killing our climate, causing fires in Australia. We have to stop it. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy Let's wrest our government out of the stranglehold of the fossil fuel industry and take back our democracy. Thank you.
No justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East.
No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. Hey! U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East. Hey Trump, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey Trump, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey Trump, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey Trump, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today? Hey Trump, what do you say? How many kids did you kill today?
All right. We are here standing against this criminal assault on Iraq, on Iran, on the Middle East. This campaign of never-ending war being perpetrated by the United States, being perpetrated by the major powers of the world across the Middle East and certainly across the globe. And right about now, I'm going to bring up a seasoned peace activist, someone who was on the front line during the effort. Some of you may remember not long ago when we were protecting the Venezuelan embassy. When this government was trying to support a coup in the country of Venezuela that ultimately failed. And so right now, I'm going to bring up Kevin Lee from Popular Resistance. Please welcome him back.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you all for being out here. Thanks to those who supported us as we face federal charges for protecting the Venezuelan embassy. We really appreciate it. Our trial will be coming up in February.
We have a number of embassy protectors here today. So thank you all for being part of that effort. It's a group effort. It was a collective. I want to thank Jane Fonda for uniting the peace movement with the climate movement. These movements will create transformational change. Transformational change. This is the decade that we will face up to climate, and we will face up to the Pentagon. We will put in place a peace economy based on clean, renewable, and sustainable energy. That is the reckless assassination by Donald Trump against the commander of the Iranian forces is living in the past. That is a war for oil. We don't need any wars for oil. That era is over. In fact, the era of the United States causing chaos in the Middle East needs to end. We want the United States out of the Middle East. Since 2003, since the United States attacked and occupied Iraq, since then the U.S. has destroyed Libya. Obama started the war in Syria, still going on. We have caused chaos throughout that region. Yemen is being slaughtered by the United States and Saudi Arabia. And what we're seeing now, we're starting to come to focus on a reality. We are in a global world war right now. The Middle East is the battleground for that war. But that battleground will shift and expand. We see already the escalation between the U.S. and North Korea. We see this last week in Venezuela, Brazil tried to attack Venezuela from the south. There were supposed to be simultaneous attacks from Colombia and from the Pacific, at the 3 attacks at the same time. Only one occurred, and that was stopped by the Venezuelan government. So global war is with us. We already see Russia involved in the Middle East. We saw last week China and Russia join with Iran to show the United States that there's unity against U.S. imperialism. We see the United States reaching out to Saudi Arabia and Israel to expand this regional war that's escalating out of control. This already is a world war. We just haven't faced it. And during this world war, we see incredible weapons races between the U.S. and Russia and China and other nations. The nuclear weapons race started under Obama with $1 trillion 10-year plan to improve and expand our nuclear capacity. Is continuing expanding under Donald Trump. The nuclear weapons race. And now we see a space weapons race developing. That weapons race will make all the previous weapons contractors wealthier. And the weapons race will be larger than we have ever seen in history when the outer space becomes the new battleground. So what we are hearing now in the beginning of 2020 is a critical year. It's a critical year for us to show both parties that militarism and war are no longer supported by the people of the United States. Elizabeth Warren starts her comments on the illegal assassination with saying what a bad guy he was, he should have died. That's unacceptable. Bernie Sanders did the right thing. Bernie Sanders said that the Iraq war was a mistake, and he said that the assassination was a mistake, and escalation is a mistake. That's exactly right. The wars in the Middle East were a mistake. We're wasting trillions of dollars, and here he is escalating those wars. We need to make it clear to those who supported Donald Trump that he was a con man. They lied to them. We know Hillary was a warmonger. We know that. But Donald Trump pretended to be opposed to Middle East wars. Here he is, violating international law and escalating those wars. So it's time for us in 2020 to build a peace movement that cannot be ignored. You here today are on the cutting edge of that new movement. This movement's going to expand this year to tens of thousands, to hundreds of thousands. This is just the beginning. no to the war in Iraq, to say U.S. out of the Middle East. We are going to accomplish these objectives. We're going to create a new world. The peace economy is our future. Thank you all for being here.
Up next this week, we are going to have Tadra from Students Against Imperialism at George Washington University. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello everyone, thank you all for coming out here. My name is Tadra. I'm with the George Washington University Students Against Imperialism. We're an anti-war, anti-militarization, anti-occupation, anti-apartheid group on campus. Standing up against war, endless occupation, endless domination of the United States and inflicting upon the global South for centuries. And right now, plain as day, the mask is off. The mask is off on U.S. imperialism. The media, CNN, New York Times, MSNBC, they are parroting their Pentagon and State Department lies. They want us to believe that it's imperative for us to go to war, that poor Iranians, poor Iraqis are our enemies, that we have to be there, we have to bomb them. Am I missing something? How does war bring peace? No, Democrats and Republicans alike just passed a $738 billion defense budget. We can clearly tell $738 billion in the hands of big CEOs at Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing is money out of the pockets, out of the food, out of the mouths of Americans, of poor working Americans. And on climate change, there's a note of climate change. We're in a current climate catastrophe. Australia is currently burning. Indonesia is underwater right now. And this war for oil onslaught never ends. The bodies will pile. The earth will be destroyed further and further while the rich get richer. And we're here to say no. The U.S., the imperialists on both sides, the media, the corporate media, fed us the lie that we had to go into Iraq. If you look at Iraq now, with the use of depleted uranium, you have generations, you have babies being born with mutations. You have increased cancer rates. This is war and violence that continues for generations. And we're here today. I want to thank all you for being here today, the young people, the older people, everyone. Because in this new decade, in 2020, we're standing up against war. We're standing up against occupation. We're standing up against U.S. imperialism. Anymore. No more business as usual. We're standing up. We're not repeating the lies they've served to us in shiny new directions on both sides. We're standing up. So I'm just gonna keep the intensity going. Let's go. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor. Stop the sanctions and the war. No more violence on the poor.
And I think that just really shows how dynamic this anti-war movement is. We've got students, we've got young people. We've got to have that youthful vitality and keep things moving. But how y'all feeling? Y'all all right? Yeah. Y'all ready to do a little more chanting? Yeah. Trump says more war, we
Friends of the Congo. Now, well then, let's...
Paul Humphreys, come back to the stage. Sisters and brothers, we're here at the White House, but we wanted to get your opinion. This is a poll. This is an act of democracy. How many people here think that we should march a few blocks to Donald Trump's International Hotel? And all the guests understand that if they're going to take the country to war, which means that thousands of people minimally will die, that this is going to be no business as usual. Because you cannot have business as usual when the government that speaks in our name, doesn't speak for the American people, is committing crimes against humanity, is violating international law, is violating the UN Charter. Now, we have quite a bit of media here today, and we hope the media actually hears the message. We think there are perhaps two Americas. One America that's in the boardrooms of all the defense contractors in Arlington, Virginia, and in Alexandria, and on Wall Street. They look at war as something good for their bottom line. But it's not their children who go and fight. It's not their children who go and die. It's not their children who are asked to kill people they don't know. Those are the children of average American people. And we speak here today for that other America. So we're going to go to the Trump International Hotel, and we're going to make it sound, make it clear, no business as usual when they're playing with fire and taking the country to another war. So let's just have a quick show of hands. How many of you are willing to march to the Trump International Hotel and the war makers know no business as usual? Should we do that? All right, we're going to have a few more chants. We're going to line up, and then we're going to march over to the Trump Hotel. It's a couple blocks. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. Let's listen again to Sean and Leo.
We're gonna bring up our friend Paul Humphreys from Friends of the Congo. You know that what the U.S. is doing in the Middle East, not just doing in the Middle East, is doing it in the Congo, doing it on the continent of Africa. Right, those connections. Paul Humphreys from Friends of the Congo.
Has carried out a war against the people of the Congo for one simple reason. They want to demilitarize roughly about $4 billion about 500 people here who have cell phones and minerals coming out of the Congo. And the way they're going about doing it